Hey y'all, welcome to another video. Glad you're here. I hope you all are feeling okay. If you're new to the channel, I'm Chanina. Hey girl, hey. And so y'all, I just wanted to just go over all of this Arise information. They're enhancing the platform. I had mentioned it in a previous vlog that I was going to talk about it with you guys. I did like a brief summarization of some of the changes, but there's a lot of changes. And I was going to insert all of the information into a vlog, but it's just a lot of information. And I was like, you know what, I'll just make a separate dedicated video to it. So if you're new here and you have no idea what I'm talking about, I am referring to a platform called the Arise Virtual Solutions platform, and it's basically a platform that you can go on there, you can register to the platform, and there's opportunities / client programs, many companies that we've all heard of, and you're able to provide customer service from your home. I have been a part of the Arise platform now. Oh wow, it's been a while. I've serviced my first client on the platform in 2016, and I've been a part of the platform ever since. Now, I'm not currently servicing a client because I need to upgrade my equipment, but I have serviced, wait, 3 clients on the platform so far. And so although I don't service a client on the platform, I do have a call center that I have partnered with to be able to provide these services to those that are looking for it. So that is one of the pluses to partnering with Arise. There aren't any other work from home platforms that allow you to start your own call center and recruit agents to work on the platform. This is the only one that I'm aware of, but I've been doing it for a long time. I started my call center business in 2020. So I've been around quite a while. So anyways, I've got my emails pulled up here, and we're just gonna read through them all. The stuff that's important to agents. There is some stuff that will be important to service partners or IBOs, which are independent business owners if you're new. These are the people that are partnered with Arise. So like for me, as an example. Okay. So this started in May. I mentioned this in a vlog about the sole proprietorship option. When I first started working on the platform, that wasn't even an option, and then it became an option, and now it's no longer going to be an option. So when you register to the platform, well, it's no longer an option now, but prior to May, you were able to either sign up as a sole proprietor, you were able to start your own call center and partner, or you were able to work as an agent under a call center that's already partnered with the platform. So now they are eliminating the sole proprietor. They are saying, let's see, it will not impact existing agents who are registered as sole proprietors or service partners. The one thing about sole proprietor, the differences between the three is when you register under an established call center, you're not able to recruit other agents to work on the platform under you because you don't have a call center, right? You can refer them to whoever your IBO is, but you would not be able to recruit. As a sole proprietor, the same thing. So sole proprietor is just that, it's just you. So you wouldn't have been able to recruit agents to work under your call center because again, you wouldn't have a call center, right? So they're leaving it at the 2 ways, again, to either form your own LLC and partner with them as a virtual call center, or to find an established call center who is partnered with Arise and register under their call center. They're going to be introducing a platform waitlist. So it says this creative concept recommended by leading service partners will allow us to balance supply and quality with demand by allowing your agents to access the to new opportunities ahead of new service partners and their agents joining the Rise platform. So yeah, they're doing that. They didn't say when that's going to take place. Oh, well, I was about to pull up the site, but that's okay. All right, so the next thing that they're going to make changes is some enrollment stuff. So they're going to be implementing what they're calling enrollment scores, which is going to raise the bar and set up top agents for success. According to them, it's going to eliminate the first come, first served enrollment frenzy. Okay, so what they're talking about, the first come, first serve, is when you go to the platform and you're looking at an opportunity that you might be interested in, they're referring to the actual enrollment spots. So how it was is that you enrolled, you go through the enrollment process for that client program, and whoever paid their money to guarantee their seat in the class is who got in the class. Who got in the class. So it was like first come, first serve. Once the class fills up, then that was it, right? Let's see, it says it also takes away the pressure of continuously refreshing your portal screen to identify opportunities as the matching is done for you. So that's good. Let's see, access to new opportunities will be given on a prioritized basis. And okay, so that's it with that. So they're going to be starting something called, they're going to have, okay, so they're going to be putting into place what they're calling new learner chat rooms. So, okay, so the chat rooms come into play when you start taking calls. So the chat room is basically something that you have to log into every time you service, because while you're on the call, if you have questions, if you need help, there is a support team, a live support team there to help you, guide you, point you in the right direction, tell you what you need to do, what not to do, all the things, right? Because the idea of doing these calls from home is the quality assurance, right? All the calls have to be done a certain type of way. And there are scenarios where you will get stuck, you'll have a question, or you need to be able to find something, but you can't find it, so you go to the chat, right? So this new learner chat room is going to separate basically those who are transitioning from the classroom to the call taking environment, and they're going to receive dedicated support, right? Because the transition can be a bit it can have you a little bit nervous, because you're taking live calls. You're going from the classroom, practicing, doing mock calls with the people in your class, you know, role playing, I should say, instead of mock calls, role playing. And then you're taking calls in certification. You're being listened to, you're being evaluated, all the things. But then once you're out of that classroom environment and you go into production or certification call taking, you're still going to need that additional support. So I think that's a good thing that they're kind of separating it. I remember when I first started working on the platform, the chat rooms were an absolute mess. It was like, it kind of looked like, if you guys remember the old Yahoo chat room setup, it kind of looked like that. And people would have side conversations, and you would type a question, and it would take forever for the support to see it, to answer the question, and then you have to let the screen scroll up. Like, it was just crazy. But they've eliminated all of that. So no side conversation, no answering questions for other agents, none of that, right? So I think that this new learner chat room will help a lot of the newbies that are taking calls, especially if you've never serviced a client before. It'll kind of take away some of that nervousness, and it reduces any accelerated, you know, if you need to escalate any calls and all that. It allows you to be more proficient on your calls. All right, so this is going to be effective June 1st, right? So by the time you see this video, it'll be after June 1st. But the platform usage fee is $19.75. So this applies to anybody who uses the platform, right? So for example, if you are receiving an invoice because you service some hours on the platform, you will be charged, well, before June 1st, you would be charged the $19.75 for you. It'll just be a flat rate, right? But you only get charged that if you're getting an invoice. So if you went a whole month and you didn't service any clients, of course you're not getting an invoice. Or let's say you went a whole payroll invoice period and you didn't service, then of course you wouldn't get an invoice, you wouldn't get charged that fee. So what they're saying is the fee is going from $19.75 per invoice period to a fee of 5% of a business's invoice total. So when we get our invoices, instead of it being $19.75, it's basically going to have the 5% of the total, right? They're saying these changes better reflect the flexible nature of the Arise platform, where your usage of the platform determines the fee, rather than incurring a flat fee unrelated to your business's use. Or the agent's use, right? Because some of you guys are sole proprietors, so you would still be referred to as like a service partner. All right. So even with these fee changes, you'll still receive all the things that you were receiving before as an agent and as a service provider. Technical support, partner support if you're an IBO, performance enhancement support, chat support, live support, all the things, right? So you'll still get all that. All right, so let me move on to this next email. That was it for that one. Okay, so registration process. So it looks like new platform registrants will now be required to complete a PC scan and Harvard assessment as part of the registration process. So I actually think that that's a good thing, because prior to this, you couldn't even do the PC scan until after you went through the registration process. And what would happen is there would be agents or potential agents that would register to the platform. They'll be ready to work, and as soon as they enroll into an opportunity, they would have to do the PC scan, only to find out that their PC is not compatible to work on the platform. So it's like a lot of time wasted for them, you know? So I think that's actually better to find that out in the beginning rather than down the road somewhere, you know? The Harvard assessment, y'all know, that's just that little questionnaire that most jobs do, you know, how you deal with certain scenarios and all of that, right? So you'll have to do that basically during the registration process. Okay, and they're talking about the wait list again and the enrollment scores. Let's see. Okay, so they're going a little bit more in detail about the enrollment scores and the registration. So they're pairing the two, registration and enrollment scores. It replaces the first come, first serve model that I was just telling you guys about. It has automated matching process, eliminating the need for constant portal monitoring, which, oh my gosh, you used to have to stalk the platform like a hawk to catch an opportunity. Like, it was just ridiculous. So I'm glad they are kind of eliminating that. Access to new classes will be granted on a tiered approach based on the enrollee's registration or enrollment score. They're going to be providing more information about that soon. So once I get updated about new information regarding that, then I will let you guys know. All right, so here's something that I kind of mentioned before, but there's more to it, and that was the class confirmation deposit. So there was a time where you had to pay for a certification class, right? Then they eliminated that option and the classes were free But then they started implementing a confirmation deposit because a lot of agents would enroll in a course and would not show up for the first day of class, the first couple of days of class, the first week of class. And in all reality, that's not fair to someone who was actually trying to get in the class and they couldn't get in because the spot was filled, because they only have so many spots for these opportunities. So I feel like, at the time, I kind of felt like that them implementing the confirmation deposit would show who was serious and who wasn't serious, right, about the class. The thing about it, though, the good side to it, well, it's still a good thing all around, but the plus side to that was it was a deposit, but you got it back once you enrolled, once you showed up to the class, right? Well, apparently they're still having issues with the no-shows on the first day of class. So they are making the class confirmation deposit due within 48 hours of enrolling in an opportunity. There really wasn't a deadline for this before. I would just encourage agents to, as soon as you're able to pay for it, go ahead and pay for it because it guarantees your seat in the class. Like, don't go through the whole process and then wait on paying the deposit because you literally get it back on your first day of class, right? But yeah, so now it's going to be due within 48 hours of you enrolling in an opportunity. In addition, the deposit amount is changing to $50 from $20. So that's, to me, is saying that the no-show issue is a big issue. Because if they're jumping up $30, they're like, listen, this is still continuing to be an issue. We're gonna raise the fee, right? So it is what it is. Just remember, it is fully refunded after you attend the entire first day of class, not the first hour, not the first 30 minutes, not the first 2 hours. Certification classes normally last between 4 to 6 hours, depending on the client, right? All you got to do is show up to class and you'll get your $50 back. Okay. This is not going to affect anyone who has enrolled in a course prior to these changes being made. So if you've already enrolled and you're still waiting to pay, go ahead and pay because it's going to be due 7 days before class. So they are saying that now, right? All right, so you will receive an email confirmation letting you know when the class confirmation deposit is due. If the program requires a drug screening, you will not need to pay the class confirmation deposit with the exception of FISERV. All right, so FISERV. Okay, so enhanced enrollment policies. So they've made a couple of changes, right? It's saying to promote new learner focus and successful completion of a certification class, the following enhanced enrollment policies will be in place once these changes go live. And it does not say, oh, they've already gone live. But it could change at any time. So apparently at the end of May, recently here, they've started going, it says sometime between May 23rd and 28th. So we shall see. All right, so let me go back up here because I wanted to see what that asterisk was. All right. Okay, so enrollees will be restricted from enrolling in a new class while they are still actively enrolled in an existing class. So in other words, you can only enroll in one opportunity at a time, right? I think that was already a thing anyways, where you couldn't, if you're in certification, you couldn't enroll in another certification until you were in production. All right, so if an enrollee drops from a class or fails certification for a class, they will not be able to enroll in a new class for a rolling 60 days. So that's a change. That's a change. How can I say it? Because that used to be a thing where you had to wait to enroll into another certification class, but then they stop doing that. And I would tell agents, like, if they didn't like a class and they were emailing me saying, well, hey, I'm not really feeling this client program, I would say, okay, well, enroll into another one before I request you to be dropped from your class, or before you reach out to your instructor to be dropped from the class. Make sure you're already enrolled in the class. But they're eliminating that, right? All right, so you can enroll for a rolling 60 days. So if an enrollee drops from or fails 3 classes in a 12-month period, they will not be able to enroll in any new classes on the Arise platform. So, okay, now I think this is a good thing, because there are enrollment hoppers, right? I have experienced that myself, where someone will enroll and then they'll go to class for like 1 or 2 days, then they'll drop the class, and then like, you know what I'm saying? Then they'll try to enroll in something else, and then they'll drop that class, and then they enroll in something else. So they are eliminating that, okay? So again, if an enrollee drops from or fails 3 classes in a 12-month period, they will not be able to enroll in any new classes on the Arise platform. Previous drops or class failures before these changes went into effect do not count, okay? Let's see, it's got an asterisk, so let's see what it says. Oh, it just went back to that, what I was talking about earlier. All right, so oh, okay. So this is going to be interesting. This is going to be interesting because there are some agents that are servicing 2 different cruise clients. I have experience. I've serviced 2 on the platform, but there's one in particular. There's 2 cruise clients on the platform in particular that are sister companies, and I have. Their system looks exactly alike. And I have had calls come in who were for the sister company, but they called, and then I've talked to other agents that were servicing both the sister company and the cruise client. So anyway, all right, so where was I at? Because I was about to mention that previous drops or class failures. Wait, that's not it. Program peak flags. Okay, so program peak flags, when set, will prevent you from enrolling in a new opportunity that directly conflicts with peak season for a program you are already servicing. So, for example, competing cruise lines or 2 retail programs during the holiday season. All right, moving right along. Okay, so now they're going into the PC scan. They're saying that it's quick and it must be completed when you click to enter the virtual classroom on the first day of class. So basically, it had already said earlier on the other email that this is going to have to be done during the registration process anyways, right? Okay, so be sure the PC you're using for class meets the system and equipment requirements for that program as outlined in the program announcement, and that all required Windows or driver updates are completed. Ideally, you should be using the same computer to attend class that you used to run the PC scan when you enrolled in it. And to add to that, make sure you're using the same computer that you enrolled in the class with to service your calls with, okay? If your PC does not pass the PC scan, please refer to the requirements for the program and click the retake button. All right, moving right along. So security upgrades. So what are we doing? You already have to do an ID. So when you enroll into an opportunity or a client program, you do have to submit a front and back copy of your ID. There's a form that you're able to download and print out, and you put your photos on it. Well, if you have a printer, it works best if you have a printer, right? Because you can just scan your ID to the form and then upload it to your computer and do all the things. If not, then of course you have to go to the library or to Home Staples or something like that. Okay, so everyone completes a photo ID verification before they enroll in their first class. So they're doing that before you enroll. So that used to be a part of the enrollment process, but now you have to do it before you enroll in your first class. To further enhance the security of our platform as an additional important step to ensure a safe and trustworthy experience for everyone, enrollees will now be prompted to complete a facial authentication scan or a selfie using their mobile device whenever they enroll in an opportunity and every day when they click to enter the virtual classroom. Wow, so let me read that again. Enrollees will now be prompted to complete a facial authentication scan or a selfie using their mobile device whenever they enroll in a new opportunity and every day when they click to enter the virtual classroom. So certification is basically done in a virtual classroom. It's you and about maybe 17, 18 other people, not including the instructor, and you go there every day to learn about the client that you're going to be servicing. All right, as previously communicated, the daily facial authentication requirement will be in effect as of next week. So actually, it should already be in effect as I'm making this video. All right. Let's see, you will not need to go through the photo ID verification process again. It is simply a quick selfie which you will submit by scanning a QR code, and it takes just seconds to complete, but it makes a big difference helping us keep things safe and fair for everyone. If you do not pass the facial authentication on the first try, you will have 2 more attempts to complete it. All right, so that concludes that email. So let's move over. Okay, so this one is going to be referring to CrowdHub. So CrowdHub is basically, you get access to that once you register to the platform. It's where you can go in and find a bunch of information, tutorials, stuff like that. They're now going to be transitioning to Centrical. So Centrical. Centrical is an AI-powered learning and performance platform designed to enhance engagement, skill development, and productivity by integrating microlearning, gamification metrics that matter, and enhancements. Centrical allows for a more enhanced experience. Okay, through Centrical, you will have access to program-specific content, materials, metric attainment information, Centrical will be accessible through a Rise LMS icon in Okta. So Okta is, I'm sitting here looking for my phone. I'm talking to y'all on my phone. So Okta is basically like a identity authentication app, right? It's something that a lot of us had to download when we were servicing the client, and it was a way to log into your system. So there was like different steps to log into your systems. And that was one of them. Okay. Let's see, it says this transition will occur June 1st. All service partners and agents servicing a program will be able to access Centrical. Please note that to start, service partners whose agents are servicing a program will not have access to Centrical. Service partners who are not servicing a program will gain access to Centrical during phase 2 of the deployment, which is expected to occur no later than June 30th, if not sooner. All right. They're saying in the meantime that you will still receive weekly scorecards and pre-select updates via email from the customer success team. So CrowdHub for all users are going to be suspended on June 1st. All right, so that was that one. So last update here, and this is going to be regarding your equipment. So I had mentioned a long time ago in a vlog, some of y'all might not even watch the vlog, but I was talking about how Windows 10 support is going to be no longer as of October, right? For Arise, the Windows 10 is not going to be compatible with the Arise platform anymore, because you won't be able to receive any feature updates, get any bugs fixed, and security updates or anything like that, right? So it's saying because security, the prevention of fraud, and protecting client and customer data are all vital components of a successful business, we are reaching out to inform everyone that as of July 31st, all service partners and their agents servicing a program on the Arise platform must ensure their PCs are operating on Windows 11 to avoid any servicing interruptions. So basically, if you are still servicing a client using Windows 10, if you don't want to run into any problems after July 31st, you might want to start working on upgrading your systems now. You can either, I know that for me, I get the little pop-up saying, hey, Windows 11 is ready or whatever to download. However, my computer is not Windows 11 compatible, so I would have to get a whole new tower. But for those who have Windows 10 PCs that are compatible with Windows 11, you probably could just download it. If you're not able to download it, then you could go spend the money on the Windows 11 software, or you could just upgrade your PC altogether. Now, I do have a link down in the description. This is a company that I do recommend because we live frugal over here, and money is tight for everybody. So I always recommend Work at Home's Equipment Solutions, because they have different ways for you to get a computer system, whether even if you just need the tower and don't necessarily need the monitors, or if you just need a whole set. They have them, and they're all affordable, and they're all work from home ready. So you can work from home on Arise, you can work from home using those computers on other platforms. They're all work from home ready, and they do have Windows 11 PCs available. So, like I said, if you're on a budget, money is funny, they do have options that you can do to pay for the equipment. So that link is always in the description box if you guys want to check them out. And then the rest of this email pretty much just kind of goes into how to go about downloading Windows 11 if you're able to from your computer. But I'm not going to go into all that. What I am going to say though is, if you need to upgrade and you don't have the option to just download it and you just want to get a whole another PC tower or a laptop, girl, go to Work at Home Equipment Solutions and get you a computer in your budget, okay? Especially if you're only going to be using it to work from home, right? Of course, you can use it for other things too, but what I'm saying is, because the date for this is so close, July is going to be here before you know it. I feel like it's feasible to go with the Work at Home Equipment Solutions rather than coming up with twice as much money to go and buy a new PC, right? Like, I don't mind a good old refurbished piece of equipment, okay? As long as it does what it needs to do. It's like a car. I'll do a used car any day as long as I can get from A to B, right? And C, and sometimes D. So when it comes to computer equipment, a lot of people don't have it like that to just spend $1,000 on a computer, right? But the ones that they have on this website, I should have recorded this a different way where I could like show y'all on my screen, to pull up the website to show y'all how affordable these computers are. If they're in your budget. But they're like, what, between 100 and maybe $250. Let me just pull one up. Let me just pull it up. So yeah, they've got work from home ready PCs and laptops. And then they also have other stuff too. You can get the tower only, you can get the bundle, you can get the monitors if you just need the monitor. They have desktop gaming systems, they have printers, they have cables and small accessories, they have office equipment, vintage electronics, software, gift cards, courses, all the things. So, oh, well, okay, it's a little bit more, but it's still not $1,000, right? So let me go to the work from home ones. Okay, so yeah, they've upgraded all of their equipment to Windows 11. So they are running a sale right now. So the lowest one, that's a monitor, so $279. So a PC tower, $439. That's not bad. I was saying like $200. It's a little bit more, but it's still not bad. $349 for a whole set. So a tower, the keyboard, the mouse, the monitor, and it's a Dell. Not bad, right? And it's work from home ready. It's a Rise work from home ready, so it'll definitely pass the PC scan. Let's see, they've got laptops, $389, $379. $499 if you want to be fancy with it. The differences in the prices is based on the gigabytes that it has. So like this $499, it has 16 gigabytes of RAM, right? Whereas this $329, it's a tower, but it only has 8. So it just depends on what you're trying to do. They got $249. All of these are Windows 11. They got a refurbished, all-in-one business PC, which it's work from home ready, but I don't think this one, if I'm not mistaken, all-in-ones, you're not able to use the all-in-one on the platform. So, but it'll tell you though, when you're scrolling through the website, it'll tell you if it's work from home ready, and it'll also tell you specifically if it's a Rise work from home ready. So yeah, they have easy financing. You can do Affirm, Klarna virtual cards, Afterpay, Sizzle, Quad Pay, which is now Zip, PayPal. They've got options. So, and if you decided to get into this type of business where you wanted to start your own call center and you want to try to make business for your make money for your business, they also have an affiliate program. So I am an affiliate, so if you guys do get your computer from them, I do get a little bit of a kickback, okay? Or my business gets a little bit of a kickback. Let me say that because it's not personal funds, it's business funds. So yeah, so they are requiring you to have Windows 11 by July 31st. So everybody, this is for everybody that's working on the Arise platform. So again, if you want to go ahead and get your equipment, you got a few $100s, just want to get something quick to use for right now until you can afford a new, spanking new situation, the link is down in the description. All right, so that concludes all of the announcements that I currently have. I'm sure they're probably going to be rolling out a little bit more. They've got to give us some more information on the, what was that? The wait list situation. They're going to give us some more information about that and how that's going to all look. And that was it, I think. So yeah, as I get more information, I will share it with you guys, but I'm gonna wait until I have a bunch of information like I have now to share it with you, instead of giving you like one little nugget here, one little nugget there. All right, so that concludes this video. If you guys enjoyed, let me just double check all of my emails here, make sure I didn't miss anything, because I think a couple of these were like duplicates. Complete okay. Oh, they're going into Google add-on. Oh, okay, so I missed one. So this is actually, they've already started doing this. So some of you guys who are on the platform may already have this, the Google add-on. So I guess you could go on here, attendance, support, research services offered to service partners and their agents, attendance of all enhancements, huddles, and other support resource interaction will be recorded via a Google Meets add-on. Oh, okay. So you'll have to launch this add-on when you're attending a meeting or an enhancement or a huddle. Okay. Oh, okay, hold on. There's something else. There's something else to see. It should go without saying that an agent should not be attempting to service one program while they are attending a class to certify for another. To ensure this does not happen, certification schedules will now be integrated with THEMATIC so that agents cannot select intervals that directly conflict with a class schedule. So THEMATIC is basically how you're able to pick your schedule. It's a screen with little blocks, 30-minute intervals or time slots rather, and you go in and you click which ones you want to do, right? So they're going to integrate your certification schedule so that you're not choosing intervals that are going to conflict between certification and any other programs that you might be trying to service or that you're already servicing. Let's see. At the point of expressing interest in a new learner class, if no scheduling conflict is found, the class schedule will automatically be blocked in THEMATIC for the duration of the selected class. Those agents with access to StarMatic for another program will see the certification schedule blocked on their behalf and will be unable to schedule servicing intervals on other programs, which would conflict with the class schedule. Okay. All right, so that's that on that. If for any reason the agent's enrollment status is dropped or canceled in the new learner opportunity, the certification schedule previously blocked in StarMatic will automatically be released on their behalf. Okay, all right, so like I said, that was a lot of information. So we're already 45 minutes into this video. So can you imagine if I went through all this in a vlog? Girl. Anyways, thank you guys so much for listening. Those who are interested in this information, like I said earlier in the video, I haven't talked about Arise in a while. There really isn't much to talk about until now. Okay, so this stuff is for IBO, so I'm not going to go into all that because the other stuff was mainly for agents and those who are considering working on the platform. So just kind of like a heads up of how the process is going to go when you enroll and register and all the things. So I do still recommend the platform. I mean, I'm always recommending a good old side hustle, honey. And this is definitely one of them. I've personally worked on the platform myself. I don't have any complaints. It's just customer service. You're just doing it from your house. And that's pretty much it. You know, you go through certification and all of that so that you can know what to do. And then you just go from there. You always have support. Even when you're in production and you're out of certification, there still will be that chat room that you have to log into. So even though they're going to have the new learners chat room for the newbies, you'll still have a chat room that you'll be logging into for the vets. So yeah, and then at some point when the newbies aren't new anymore, then they'll probably transition over to the regular chat room. So that's going to be interesting. I can't wait to hear some feedback on how that's working out as far as the chat rooms and things like that. And so if you guys have any questions, or what did you find interesting about all of these platform changes? Does it kind of turn you off from working on the platform, or does it kind of give you some more clarity of what you'll be getting into? Do you think that the way that they're going to be doing the registration process would be like straightforward to the point and less chaotic? Like, what are you guys' feelings about these changes? Me personally, I've been on the platform for a while, so this is not a new season of changes for me. They've actually done several enhancements over the years. So, you know, nothing new. Businesses change, you know, and you just have to adapt. That's all. So anyways, you guys, thank you so much for watching the video. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment down below, say hello, and I will see you guys on another video. Bye.